Hi guys, I'm live. Happy Monday. How are you doing today? Hope you all had a good weekend and you are ready for the day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Today I want to talk about the value of your name. Remember, I think it must have been on Saturday when I introduced you to my tree, which is still blossoming outside. And I just want to tell you something, I want to share something with you. So on Sunday, I went to church and I was talking about my said tree because obviously it is the star of the season at the moment. So I was speaking to a lady about my tree and I was like, yeah, I've got a tree in my garden and it's fully blossomed and it's got white flowers on it and bits of yellow and all that kind of stuff. And, and God said he was going to give me a gift and this tree's appeared and I know that this is the gift that God had for me. So, and then she said to me, she goes, oh, actually in my garden, I've got daffodils growing. And it suddenly dawned on me. I was like, she's given it a name. And when she says, I've got daffodils growing, I was like, well, you know what? We do expect daffodils to start growing in February, so there's no big deal about that. But the thing is that because she gave it a name, I was fully able to identify what she was talking about. Whereas when I was explaining my tree, I was saying it's so beautiful, and it's got white flowers on it, and it's got yellow bits on it. It could have been any tree, nothing specific, because I did not attach a name to it. Another thing is, on the same day, I was speaking to another lady because I've just recently moved to a new church and she'd never met me before. And she came up to me and she goes, hi, how are you? I was like, hi, my name's Clara. And the very next question she asked me is a question that most people do, including myself, when you're meeting somebody for the very first time. And I guess you can guess it. Yep, exactly. What do you do? We are so used to that question. What do you do? People skirt past what is your name, and whether they can remember it or not is a total different story. And most people will say, oh yeah, you know what? I'm really sorry. I'm not great with names. I'm probably not going to remember you. You're going to have to remind me a couple of times, but what do you do? And the minute you start talking about what you do, depending on what that is, people are either like, oh, wow, because I then went into, I own a company and we create hair loss products and my company's name is called Old Strands and, I work with salons and I train people how to, and she's like, wow. And all of that wow comes from the fact that she has actually identified myself as that's the woman that owns that hair loss company. That's the woman whose company is called Old Strands. That's the woman who helps all these different people. That's the woman who helps build people's confidence. That's what she knows about me. But actually, who am I? Am I that person or am I someone else? So often, we attach what we do to who we are. So I want to talk about the value of your name. Do you actually know what your name means? It's an interesting question because smart people, when you talk to them about your name, when you get introduced to somebody and say, hey, my name is Clara, smart people remember your name. They will go away and they'll go, okay, I've got to remember this person's name. Why? Because they know that that name means something. But the issue is that we don't dig deeper. What exactly does Clara mean? Who are you? And I want to take you back because in the Bible, God says, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. That means God knew who I was before I was planted as a seed in my mother's womb. Just as people that plant a daffodil know that it's a daffodil. They know they've planted a daffodil. They've called it a name. They haven't just gone to the shop and go, oh, you know what? Just give me whatever you've got. They've gone, I want a daffodil planted in my garden, so I'm going to go look for a daffodil. And then the expectation as to when that daffodil is going to come to life. But more on that tomorrow. So wouldn't it be even more powerful rather than us just saying, hey, my name is Clara, but actually saying what your name means. Because if you don't even know what your name means, then how do you know who you are? So many of us are walking around not knowing who we are. We have allowed other people to give us a name. Hey, that's the son of XYZ. That's the wife of ABC. That's the daughter of WXK. But you've got a name. What does your name mean? Because before you were born, God breathed your name into the ears of your parents and said, this is your name. This is Clara. And so I Googled my name. What does Clara actually mean? Clara means, just in case you were interested, bright, clear, and famous. Now, can you imagine if I knew that that was my name from the very beginning? Like, it's not like I have to try and be bright or have to try and be clear or have to try and be famous. I am already these things. I'm walking around, and every single time you call my name, I identify with bright, clear, and famous. You don't have to think that I am. You don't need to look at me and go, oh, is she? No, because I already know who I am. And if I knew who I was, would I not walk different? Would I not stand different? And if somebody comes to me and says, well, actually, you're Emily. I'm like, no, I'm not Emily. I'm Clara. Do you know why? Because I am bright, clear, and famous. And if I would like to liken myself to something, what is bright? A diamond. I am like a diamond. If I want to go deeper, I'm like a diamond, but not any old diamond. No. I'm a diamond with clarity. What does that mean? I have got value. You don't just get to pick me up and drop me as you please. You don't get to do that. I won't allow it. Why? Because I know who I am. And not only that, I'm famous. I'm royalty. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to brag or I'm trying to pump myself up. That's what my name is. That's who I'm called. And every single time you call my name, that's what you're saying. You're saying, oh, bright one, oh, clear one, oh, famous one. But the problem is, because I did not know that was who I am, I was walking like I was the scum of the earth. But no. And this is the thing. If we would meet somebody and be more concerned about what that person's name means than about what that person does, you will get to know more about that person. And number one, you'll actually get to know the person that even knows who they are. And if somebody doesn't know who they are, that's a biggie. Maybe it's time that we start actually telling people who they are. Oh, your name is Simon. Did you know Simon meant XYZ? You know, the next time for these ladies, a guy comes up to you and goes, you know what? And you think you're a gift from God, they very well might be a gift from God. It's like, hey, yeah, actually, that's my name. I'm not trying to blag you. I'm not trying to be prideful, but that's the name that's given to me. I'm a gift from God. And if you know you're a gift from God, you will walk different, you will talk different, you will act different, you will be different. You won't allow anybody to put you down and say you're something that you're not. That's why it's so important. And you know what? One of the things that dawned on me is when you're a baby, your parents put so much effort into you knowing what your name is. You know, they'll be like, hey, who's that? Pointing to a picture. Who's that? And you're like, it's Clara. Yes. Well done. What's Clara doing? Oh, she's smiling. Yeah, well done. But then when we get to adult age, we don't care about the name. We let it go like it's nothing. You know, I want to encourage you today. If you don't know what your name stands for, go find out. Go find out. And if it's not an edifying name, then I guess you've got to probably go back to your parents and ask them, why do they call you that name? And for parents that are thinking about having children and giving names, you know what? you might want to ask the Creator. You might want to ask God before you call somebody a name, because God knew your child before your child was placed in your womb. So if you really want to get accuracy on what your child is, the identity of your child in this earth, ask God, what should I call him? What should I call her? You know, let God tell you. Don't come up with fancy names that sound great. Oh yeah, that sounds like a very, exotic name, but you don't know what it means. Or oh yeah, that's a little bit like, cliche because that name is in right now, but you don't know what it means. There is value in the name. And every time your name is being called, someone is saying, oh, beautiful one. Oh, light. Oh, wonderful one. Oh, gift from God. Oh, bright one. Oh, clear one. Oh, famous one. That's what people are saying. But when you don't know, you're not going to be walking in it. And the funny thing is that we spend our entire life trying to figure out who we are, and it's already been given to us. We just need it to believe it and to know it and to know how valuable your name is. So yeah, the next time you meet somebody, before you start asking them, what do they do? Where do they come from? All of that kind of stuff. That's like secondary. That's like not important, because what you do does not define you. I am not Miss Ultrastrans. That does not define me. I own a company called Ultrastrans, but it does not define me. But I tell you what does define me. I am bright, I am clear, and I am famous. And on top of that, I'm a child of God. That is my definition. What's yours? Don't let anybody tell you you're something that you're not. Don't let anybody give you a name that is not your name. Don't let anybody misspell your name. Take pride in your name, own it, take it back, and call it. And if for the rest of the week, all you do is call your name as it is. I am light. I am bright. I'm a gift from God. Call your name as it is. See how you yourself will change. It's the truth. Anyway. Pretty deep for Monday, hey? Well, that's it for today. I am going to be back on tomorrow. And tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. Still talking about my tree. This is all aligning with my tree. Absolutely. But before I go, I want you to know that God loves you. He loves you so much. Why? Because he called you by your name. He gave you a name that was so specific to you. It shows that you're not just anything. You are uniquely defined to be you. There is no other person like you. God loves you. And you know who else loves you? I love you. Take care. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.